Peaks Toastmasters Club 3044, Mr. Bruce. Bruce, woohoo! Take it away, Bruce.
Wow, Sterling, that is unbelievable. I received this email from a friend of mine here over the holidays, and she said, minimizing is hard. And it really did not hit me until I started to do that myself. I started to understand what she was going through. If we go back to something that George Carlin, who is a comedian, said, he got a routine for a while about stuff. He talked about that when you leave your home and you get out on your own, that you don't have much stuff to take with you. So what do you have to do? You have to get stuff. And before you know it, wherever you end up, well, the place isn't big enough. So then what do you have to do? You have to go and get more stuff. And then you get a bigger place. And then all of a sudden you realize that, oh, I don't have any stuff. I have to go get more stuff. And you keep repeating this and repeating that throughout life. One of the things we did years ago is we bought a large 6-acre plot with a house on in the country. And I still remember my dad coming out and saying, you need to watch how much stuff you get because you have too much space. You know what? We went and got into horses. You realize how much a horse needs for support, so you can take a truck. You need a big trailer. You need a place to put all the stuff that the horse needs, his food, his saddles, and everything else. And we got to find out that it took a lot of space. If you have ever seen one of those trailers going down the road, be amazed. Look at it next time you see them, and then count the number of windows on the side that are large, and you'll find out how many horses are in there. If there are 4 windows, there should be 4, might be 4 horses in there, but most likely only 1 or 2. If you look at our personal horse trailer, there is only room for 1 horse in that big, huge trailer. It supposedly hauls 3. So as life went on, my dad decided to downsize. He wanted to get rid of his house. He had been owning and operating commercial and residential real estate. So guess where all the parts and pieces came that he would not let go? He said, you got space, I'll bring him out there. So as time went on, he kept showing up. Or when I go down to see him, he would say, well, here's another box or 2 to take with you. And before you know it, I have a lot of his stuff in my barn. So I'm starting to downsize because I want to sit there and actually, let's see. I have my glitch of computers because I don't even know where it went. But I'm looking at the possibility of downsizing to the point where I can live on a sailboat. If you look at a sailboat, it is large, especially the one I have. It's 37 feet long. That's the size of a lot of the semi-trailers going down the road. In fact, that's how it got here. It came from Germany in a shipping container. And so you say, oh, those things are huge. But you forget something. They have curves because the sailboat, you want curves so that you can cut through the water, so you can sail fast. So there is not that much stuff or places to store stuff in there. And you still say, well, but it's still a big thing. Well, the furniture is all included in the sailboat because that's where it comes from. You got places to sit, You got a little galley, and you have a bathroom or a head where you can go to the bathroom or take a shower, and you have sleeping berths. But you need to remember that everything has to fit inside the hull. And that includes all the water tanks, the fuel tanks, the batteries, the engine. And when you sit there and start looking at that and adding up all this stuff that has to be stored in the boat to support it, all of a sudden you say, oh, I have less than 50%. And so you get little closets about this wide to store your shirts and your pants. And if you're lucky, you might have multiple, but usually you end up sharing as a couple that little space. And then you have other little cubby holes, but as you open them up, you find out there isn't any place to store any stuff in there. And then the thing is as you go over and you are sailing under sail, as you roll the boat, if you do not have your stuff stored securely, you don't need to worry about where it is. It's no longer on the counters. It's no longer on the table. It's no longer on the seats or anything else. It's now whatever side you heeled to last. And it makes a commotion. And you only do that once or twice before you say, we have to clear off all the stuff, because if we do heel, it'll be on the floor. So minimizing is hard. I definitely have a minimalization problem, and it's not going to be an easy, small problem. And it's going to take me longer, or maybe we'll do what my wife wants to do. Find a buyer, throw the keys at them as we go out of the house, taking only the essential things that we want to take. Sterling?